morning, boys and girls. Today I will briefly elaborate to you on my constructed project, which is a technical drawing table. My explanation will mostly be based on preparation of the tables or the materials, secondly on joining and fixing of the pieces together, and finally applying of finishes. Before moving on to these subheadings, let's briefly go through the safety processes and also on the problem statement and the objective of the construction project. First of all, on the problem statement, why I am doing this project. I decided to do this project because in my workshop I cannot see any technical drawing table, so I thought of doing a technical drawing table which can guide the students on how to use the technical drawing table. Some of the objectives of the technical drawing table is: first, ensure that the lines and dimensions and angles are accurate by providing the steady and dependable surfaces. We need to use different types of tools for the construction of the technical drawing table. We need to improve on our posture when we are using the technical drawing table, and also we need to create a welcoming workplace to increase output and lower the chance of repetitive strain and injuries. Moving on, let's go through the safety and use of tools, followed by preparation, assembly and the finishing process. On safety, while constructing the table, we need to always keep safety in mind. Firstly, when you are doing the preparation of timber, when you are working on the timber, and when you are fixing the timber, and when you final assembling of the timber, and last when you are applying the finishes. So some of the safety that you need to always keep in mind is: one, always we need to wear protective clothing when you are doing any construction in a workshop. Also check for all the cut or prepared pieces with their edges. Note the quality of material that you are using. Make sure that the table is steady enough to hold the weight of all the materials. Also, the amount of weight that will be on top of the table, the drawing table needs to withstand that weight. We need to create a table that can be tilted and raised. That's what I have constructed. It should be tilted and raised. Why we are doing in such manner? So that when students sit, they have their head raised on top, and then that's easy for doing all the drawings that they are doing in the PD room. And also to improve our comfort and our movable height, that is the footrest and soft edges. Secondly, use of tools during the construction. There were certain tools that were used in the construction of the technical drawing table. Firstly, for cutting all the pieces, we used a circular saw and a tenon saw and a cross-cut saw. These three saws were used for the preparation and cutting of timbers. One thing that we need to always keep in mind when you're using a circular saw is that we need to be very careful of the use, because there is a kickback of the circular saw and that is dangerous. So we need to keep in mind that safety of a circular saw. Secondly, once the piece is cut, then what we do is that we need to smoothen the timber, and what we used was that we use the rasp and the files to edge in the edges, and we also use the electrical bend sander for smoothing the surface of the exterior boards. After the boards were cut, the boards were smoothed, and then what we did was that we used the electrical drill to make the pilot holes for the screws for fixing. Once the holes were made, then we used an impact drive and a countersunk bit, which was used to join all the pieces together. Once the pieces were joined together, then what happened was that we tried to fix or put all the fillers around so that no gaps were seen, And then we used claw hammer for hammering the top using the panel pin. Once this technical drawing table was ready, again what we did was that we used the garden paper to make it smooth, and then we applied the finishes. So the processes or the project procedures that were followed was, one was measuring and marking, secondly cutting and ripping of the boards, thirdly smoothing the boards by the use of rasp and electrical wire sander, then assembling and fixing the piece together, and finally applying stain, sanding sealer and varnish. Now I am going to explain to you how the finishes were applied. First of all, after making all the edges smooth, all the sides smooth, then what we did was that we applied the stain. Once the stain was applied using the brush and piece of cloth, once it was applied, then the next step was that we applied the sanding sealer. Sanding sealer was applied, and then we let it dry for a while. Once it was dry, using a used sandpaper, smoothly we sandpaper all of the technical drawing table, and then we applied the varnish, which is said to be fresh coat varnish. Fresh coat varnish was applied using a paintbrush, and then after we have applied the first coat varnish, then we let it dry for overnight. On the following day, we again sandpaper it nicely with a used gun paper, wipe it properly with a cloth, and then the final and the second coat was applied to the drawing table. And once the drawing table was ready, then you can see the product that it is shining. The second coat or the final coat of the varnish, when it's applied to a drawing table, that makes the project look attractive and it also shines. So that's mostly my discussion on, or a small video presentation on my product, that is a drawing table. And I hope whatever I have discussed with you, you will understand it. Thank you.